So now if I'm telling you that you have the power to be able to make things happen that you believe in, your next question should be, well, then how do I change what I believe in? How do I believe in the stuff that I want and not the stuff that I don't want? Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you're thinking to yourself, yes, I want to be in a dysfunctional relationship. I want to be in a relationship where I don't end up happy. I want to be left, wherever. I want someone to break up with me. I want to have like pain, heartbreak, or abandonment. We don't want those things. But the ego makes us feel because of our conditioning. So now we talked about the surface layer of like abandonment, we talked about abundance. Now we're going deeper into why scarcity reduces our abundance. So now let's go a step deeper. So you're like, where does this come from? Where is this actually coming from? It comes from the ego's desire to be able to protect the self, which happened when we were really young, right? Because when you were a baby, you really needed that level of protection to be able to not fully feel the intensity of abandonment when you're a child. But now what happens is the abandonment still latches onto you. You just find different coping mechanisms to be able to work with it. So the first thing that you start to do is learn how to attach to people. That's what we call an attachment style. But an attachment style, unless it's one of security, is already based on scarcity. It's already based on the concept that I either don't deserve relationships, I'm not going to have the love I want, people are not going to see me, hear me, feel me, or validate me, no one's really going to get who I am and where I come from. So unconsciously, without realizing it, our attachments are directly associated with scarcity. So the attachment wound now becomes the source of scarcity, which is the attachment wound is taking away our abundance. So this is what I wanted to teach you and tell you guys about, because I specialize in attachments, and I'm teaching about attachment theory. But I also believe for myself so much in the concept of abundance and scarcity, and where I'm standing today, what I'm feeling today is what I will bring in. There are moments in my own relationships where on the way home I've been like, oh fuck, I don't want to get back because we're going to have this kind of discussion, we're going to have this kind of thing. And then inevitably that's actually what happens. Because again, remember what I told you, my brain wants to show me that I'm going to be right. Now, if I'm going to be right about, or if my brain wants to see that I'm going to be right about being unhappy, about not having enough, about having a traumatic relationship, most importantly, about not believing I can get anything better, it will fucking prove it to me. I will give up opportunities where someone is willing to love me, where someone is willing to take care of me, where someone is willing to give me all those beautiful things, because I want to be able to tell myself and prove to myself, see, you think you didn't deserve it, you believed you didn't deserve it, so you're not going to get it. So now we go one step lower. Remember, now we're going layer by layer by layer. This is my favorite part of what I do. It's psychoanalysis. It's breaking down a story from the top right to the root. So on the top, we're like, okay, you know what? I want to attract abundance, but I'm attracting this kind of relationship. Okay, next, where does this come from? This really comes from a lot of like my attachment stories and all of that stuff. Okay, next, what the fuck even makes the attachment story, right? What the hell even makes this attachment wound that's creating scarcity? Now remember, today I'm just talking about scarcity and abundance in relationships. So I'm talking about abundance in relationships really as a topic, but abundance exists everywhere. And if you want to be a bigger part of that discussion, I'm actually giving a call the following Tuesday only in my group, the EFC, which is the Emotional Freedom Collective. It's my membership who I nurture every day with like little emails and little like Facebook quotes and whatever else that I keep throwing on. If you want to be a part of that group, excuse me, just had some delicious Thai food. Make sure you check out the website, efccommunity.com, and you can join the membership for like $1 to try for 2 weeks and then $33 a month. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you about the abundance. So now we go one step lower, right? And you're telling me now, okay, Yats, so what is it that creates these attachment wounds? Where is it coming from? What is it that makes me carry this attachment with me? And that is your belief. So the way the human neural network, so your brain, your central nervous system, the other parts of your nervous system, the way they're wired, right, is such that at the top you have let's say confirmation bias, things you see around in the environment. Just below that, you have actions and reactions. So those are now coming from within me. The other part I'm seeing in the environment, action and reactions come from within me. Below actions and reactions, so a lot of the time we tell ourselves, oh my God, I'm reacting to my partner's reacting to me. Below that, you actually have things like previous episodes of trauma, conditioning, etc., that have validated to you, okay, this is how I should act. But the magic layers right here underneath, which is a belief system. So whatever I believe, only in that direction can I truly act. Someone said character is what you do when no one's looking and after dark. Your character is entirely based on your belief system. So that means if I give you a choice to act in any which way, you would only act in the way that you truly believe. So now when you take relationships, and we come back to that same principle, you can tell yourself, you can draw in a fucking mirror, you can put a picture on the wall, you can just read the stuff to you every day that says, I love myself, but if you don't believe it, it is impossible for the human being, for the human existence to manifest it. It's impossible for you to act on it because you don't believe in it. You can try and fake it, you can try and push it, you can try and do any of it, you can try and force it, right? And this is where the concept of shame tends to come in. So you can try and force the self-love, but if you don't believe that you deserve the love, if you don't believe that you can manifest the love, you don't believe you can attract the love, you won't be able to. This may sound really heavy, but what I'm giving you is actually amazing conversation. I'm giving you so much truth because I'm telling you, don't beat yourself up about something that is difficult for you to process. Instead, break it down and say, why the fuck is it difficult for me? That's why I like doing the work that I do, is because I'm not here to hold your hand, stand in front of the mirror every day and say, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, it'll come true, because it won't. It will not come true. You will do it and you'll resent it and you'll hate me. Instead, I'm the person who takes you in front of the mirror, and when you're like, I can't do it, my question is why? Why do you think you can't do it? Who's the first person who told you in your life that you don't deserve the level of love that you want? Who's the first person who in your life, when you just asked for a hug, could not fully show up there for you? Maybe they were too busy. Maybe they were stuck in their own coping mechanisms. Maybe they had their own traumas, their own baggage, their own invalidation from their life. And I'm talking about your caregivers. I'm talking about your previous partners. So that when it came to you, all they could do was project. All they could do was just bring out their stuff on you and not know how to shut it off. That's why, for example, when the anxious comes across an avoidant, they're like, oh my God, they're so emotionless. I don't know what's wrong with them. I mean, why are they being so cruel to me? But the truth is they just don't know how to create that level of emotional connection. So what they're projecting onto you is a reaction from their own trauma, which is to shut off. And converse, if the avoidant comes in touch with an anxious person and the anxious person is like in their face saying, love me, love me, love me, I really need you to love me and show me that you love me, they may think, oh my God, the anxious person is like too much, way too much. These people are like too loud, they're like too clingy. But the truth is all they're doing is projecting their own coping mechanism. All they're doing is just bringing out their method of needing to survive with their trauma. Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.